High up in the cold ridges of Copper Ridge Mountain lived Elias Ward, a quiet, rugged man who spent most of his life chopping wood, hunting elk, and surviving the bitter winters alone. People in town called him the Silent Wolf, because he rarely spoke and kept to himself. But after years of solitude, Elias realized something. A cabin stays warm with fire, but a heart stays warm with company. So, when he heard about an auction in Pine Hollow where orphaned or unwanted brides were offered a chance for a new life, women who had no family, no home, no options, Elias went down the mountain. The town was buzzing. Some brides stood confidently. Some cried. And one stood completely still. A burlap sack covered her head. People whispered, "She's cursed. She must be scarred. Probably dangerous." Men avoided her like she was invisible. But Elias felt something tug at his heart. Unlike everyone else, he didn't see a dangerous woman. He saw someone who had been judged without being known. So he stepped forward. "How much for her?" he asked in his deep, steady voice. The crowd gasped. The auctioneer blinked. "Sir, you sure? Nobody wants her." "I do," Elias said. And that was that. The cabin in the storm. The ride back up the mountain was silent. The woman didn't speak, didn't move much, only held her hands tightly in her lap. Elias didn't force her to remove the sack. When they reached his warm wooden cabin, he spoke gently. "You're safe here. You can take that off whenever you're ready." She didn't. Days passed. Elias cooked for her, chopped wood, fixed the roof, gave her warm clothes. He never asked her for anything, not even her name. Slowly, she began leaving small signs of gratitude. Washing the dishes, folding his shirts, leaving tea by his chair. She was scared, fragile, like a bird learning to trust again. The night everything changed. A violent snowstorm hit the mountain. Wind howled, the cabin shook, and lightning cracked across the sky. A loud bang hit the door. Elias grabbed his rifle and opened it, only to find the woman collapsed in the snow, trembling. She had tried to fetch wood for the fire but slipped. He carried her inside, laid her by the hearth, and covered her with his coat. "Why won't you let me see your face?" he whispered. Her hands quivered toward the edges of the sack, then froze. Tears rolled down beneath the burlap. "Because no one wants a woman like me," she said, voice small and broken. Elias shook his head. "I didn't buy a face. I brought home a soul." That was the first time she ever looked up at him. Her fingers slowly removed the sack. Elias froze. Because her face wasn't ugly. Wasn't cursed. Wasn't scarred. It was beautiful, but terrified. She whispered, "My stepfamily forced the sack on me for years, said beauty brings danger. So I hid. And then they sold me." Elias clenched his fists, anger burning at the thought of her suffering. "You're safe now," he said. "No one will ever put that sack on you again. A new beginning." From that night on, everything changed. She smiled more. She talked. She laughed when Elias tripped over firewood. She helped plant spring seeds. She even stitched him a new coat with tough leather patches. And Elias, he realized something he had never expected. He wasn't lonely anymore. One evening, as the sunset painted the mountain in gold, she placed her hand over his. "Why did you choose me?" she asked. Elias looked into her eyes. "Because even with a sack on your head," he said softly, "you were the only one I couldn't walk past." Her eyes filled with tears. That night, the lonely mountain man and the rejected woman found something neither of them ever had before. A home, a partner, a future.